Need I say more? Hey everyone, David C. Anderson here, coming at you from the Knife Center, and we've got the coolest new stuff, including the knives, that have just hit our shelves. You've already seen a taste. Thomas, shall we get started?
I have nothing random to say.
This is the coolest new thing that has hit our shelves, hands down. Launching today, the CRKT Provoke X. Unclick the lock, and then just give it a good swing. And you've got this pocketable tomahawk, hatchet, whatever you want to call it. First, let's get out of the way right up top. Is this practical? Is this useful as a, tool?
Maybe.
Who cares? That would be my response. Like, yeah, probably not. This is not, going to be really a campfire tool. It could maybe be a self-defense thing, but really, it exists to be awesome. And I defy you to argue that it is not awesome. Sound off in the comments, why don't you? I mean, come on. Kinematic action designed by Joe Caswell, right? That's the guy's name? Yes,
name.
Joe Caswell, sorry. Of course, responsible for the Provoke Karambits that look like this and do that clicky-clacky thing. This does clicky-clacky things too. You do every time have to unhook the safety switch right here. I'll show you actually, because as you close it, that safety re-engages, so it's not gonna move on you while it is in the pocket. And this really is, a big pocket, but it is a pocket-sized hatchet, quite honestly. Unclick, give it a swing. Very, very awesome. D2 blade, stainless steel, and GFN or GRN handles overall. The lockup is actually, despite what you might think, is actually pretty darn strong. It uses a variant of CRKT's deadbolt mechanism, and you kind of push on the pivot right here, and you can see the two bars, well, the crossbar on the other side, not really crossbar, but the locking bar on the other side that has two posts that go through the blade there. That is doing the lockup. And we've kind of torture tested the first iterations of the deadbolt lock on the CRKT Shock, throwing it against walls or trees and batoning with it and doing all kinds of stupid stuff. And the lock still held the blade securely. So you've got that here. Let me do it one more time. Yeah, it's here. It exists to be awesome. The price is about $350. We've been waiting for this for a long time. There were some delays. They first showed it at SHOT Show in January, expecting an April release. Not sure what the holdup was, but the holdup is no more. You can get it right now. Shall we do more things that go clicky-clack?
As long as you throw them away from me.
Throwing? I didn't say anything about throwing, did I?
No, but I would have been trusting your grip if I did it on the other side.
Oh yes, I see. That's true. So don't open it that way, is what you're saying.
No.
Yeah.
So I need to set focus.
Noted. All right, let me close it up just because it takes up a lot of space on the table right there. All right. Next up, from Chaves Knives and built for them by the fine folk at ProTech, we have a Redencion 229 automatic knife. How cool is that set of words together? Oh wait, tell me in the comments how cool that set of words is down there. $300 for this. You've got a 3 3/8 inch blade, S35 VN steel, as you can see right there from the font
On the front.
typeface. Anyway, aluminum handles, stonewashed finish on the blade, black finish on the handles. Blue is also available. Just a good rugged combination. Comes of course with the Chaves skull pocket clip right there, screwed in from the inside, so you don't have the screw holes fighting the visual of the eye sockets right there. That's pretty cool. And ProTechs have always had great action, and I don't know if I'm just imagining it, but I feel like this knife has even stronger action than a typical ProTech. I can test this actually, hang on. We have some ProTechs right back here. Some Knife Center exclusive PT Pluses, let me see. That's stronger. That feels really good.
Counting for mass.
I mean, yeah, maybe. I said Protex have always had good action. This has really good action. You've got the Tonto style blade on this guy. Slight curvature to the spine, giving it almost a drop point quality in terms of how you're actually going to cut with the knife. It's awesome. And it goes clicky-clack too. I don't know what more you want me to say. It's a very cool knife. Keep the clicky-clack train rolling here. New version.
Hands do go clicky-clack.
They do. This is a ridiculous concept, but hey, we're gonna roll with it. The Demko Nano Shark, new blade or new handles available in both the clip point and the shark's foot blade. We have got this fat carbon here, the Arctic Storm coloration, and we've also got now in the clip point blade, joining the sheep's foot or the shark's foot we already had, the textured titanium finish. They still go clicky-clack with the shark lock. It's a little more clickety-clackety with the titanium, but not too far off with the fat carbon right there. More cool knives. 2 1/4 inch blade, 20 CV for the blade steel on the fat carbon here, actually on both of them. 350 for the titanium, about 390 for the fat carbon versions right here. Even though this is compact, this is still, it's not skimpy, it's not shrimpy. Well, here's a perfect example. We'll get to this Tactile Bear here in a little bit. That's also small, but man, the difference in thickness there is notable. The Bear is very, very skinny. But this compact Nano Shark right here does fill the hand pretty nicely for me. I can get all 4 fingers on it, especially on the shark's foot blade. I think that lends, to me at least, a power of, or a feeling of great power as you're kind of pushing towards a heavier cut when you need to. The stability that handle provides is not to be discounted. Deep carry pocket clip, which is reversible. The whole knife is ambidextrous because that shark lock, in addition to being clicky-clacky, is also lefty friendly, of course. It gives you also a good place to push your, or put your thumb if you're reaching out with a little more length on the blade or choking up over it. My thumb fits really nicely in front of it for those pushier cuts right there. Check them out. The least expensive versions of this knife come in way less than the $390 point, but they aren't strictly new, which is why they're not on the new knives video. But you can get OS 10 versions for about $100 if you like those, but the price is too high for you. You can check all of those out at the links in the description, or if you're watching us on your television at home, there should be a QR code up here somewhere. You can point your phone at it and get on over there.
It makes that sound?
I was just gonna say, it probably doesn't make the sound. Maybe we should make it do the sound.
That sounds like more work for me.
Yeah, no, we don't want to do that. How about some compact fixed blades now to go with these compact folders? The Bradford Guardian 3 series. We have some new handle versions here featuring this red, white, and blue G10, each with MagnaCut steel, but they are differentiating it from other MagnaCuts in the lineup by designating it MagnaCut HH or MagnaCut High Hardness. They are running these with a 63 to 64 Rockwell target, which should really optimize its edge holding capabilities quite nicely. Which one do I like better? Well, I like the guarded finger choil or the guarded handle of this sheep's foot version versus the unguarded version here where the edge comes all the way through. That's a personal preference, but I like a drop point generally better than I like a sheep's foot. So, hey, take your pick. This Stonewash drop point blade version is running about $198. This one has the Nimbus finish, which is sort of a black stonewash going on, and that's about $220. 4-finger grip for me, or 3.5 fingers really, but enough where I could choke up, cheat up just a little bit and get, again, a really nice push cut action going on. Full flat grind on the sheep's foot here. Thickness looks to be about 1/8 of an inch, it seems. Let's check the spec. 0.14, so not quite, just shy of 1/8 of an inch. And you've actually got a little bit of taper towards the tip on this one as well, so it gets thinner. Feels nice. The sheath on these, we actually say on the website, it's called the Pocket Fixed Blade series, but really the sheath is not designed for pocketability, although you could slip it into a pocket. You've got a horizontal belt loop here on the leather sheath, so you could cross draw it really nicely. There you go. Check them out. Keeping the colorful train going, one of my favorite folders of the year is the RT-Meteor from Remette, and we've got some new colors on this. Multicolored carbon fiber, not just red, white, and blue. We've also got some purple and orange in there. Very striking. It matches the purple of the button release right here. And I say button release because it's not a button lock. It is actually a frame lock. You can operate it just like any other frame lock, or you could push the button, which grants you finger-safe closing action right there, as well as that wrist flick capability. I always appreciate a finger-safe closing action, and I appreciate the wrist flickability that this allows. And you get to combine that with the stability of the frame lock, which is a classically stable locking mechanism, which is very cool. All of that is cool enough on its own, but I think the shape of the knife especially is really nice. It feels original without being unuseful to me, especially as a guy who likes drop point blades. And if you're following our FAQ video earlier this week that we post every Saturday, last week I was talking about appreciating spear point style blades with dagger-like features, and you've got that going on right here as well. It is not a sharpened spine right here. It's not even thin enough where I would call it a false edge. It's just a big long swedge right there. It gives you some relief along that spine, which should help curving cuts go a little more nicely. And it just looks striking as heck. You can also get all the way up towards the back of the edge thanks to the neutral handle design. And that's something where a lot of other knives that use like button style compression locks, for example, that look like this from the front, typically you lose some edge length here to accommodate the lock. But because this is a flat bar going through right at the spine, they didn't really have to take that into account. If you don't want to wrist flick it, you could thumb stud it. You could also front flipper it, but as I've said on this channel before, I'm boycotting front flippers, or boycotting front flipping if I can at all help it. Check it out, $238 for that version. Other flavors are available. All right, next up, we've got a return of a classic, the Leatherman Micra. Now, this is not a brand new product, especially not the classic stainless steel version right here. But availability of the Micra has been pretty limited for a few years. As Leatherman is as I understand it, they've tried to kind of update and modernize their production methods in order to keep these at a low price. Price on these, US made, keychain size multi-tool coming in about 50 bucks, and not just content to release or re-release the standard stainless steel. We've got some color options joining the fray. The black is particularly nice looking. We've also got this blue/aqua version. They're calling this parakeet. So two different colors of blue, essentially. Yeah, anyway, you got...
Also, there's a shade of blue called Keat, and then you'd have two Keats, parakeet.
I see where you're going.
Someone asked.
We're dads. We make dad jokes. It's fine. Spring-loaded scissors are the centerpiece of these tools rather than a set of pliers like a full-size Leatherman. And these scissors have historically worked pretty darn well. They meet up quite nicely. The geometry seems good, and it feels like, haven't actually cut with these because this is inventory, but it feels like it should snip quite nicely. And then the tools on the inside, in addition to having a small blade, not quite chisel ground, but it's only sharpened from one side. Keep that in mind. The other implements I've always thought of as sort of a mix between kind of some essential small screwdrivers as well as grooming implements, because you've got a set of tweezers here for one thing, as you can see. Boop, boop, boop. You've also got the nail file with the nail cleaner on the end. And then as for drivers, you've got a mid-size flathead here, a 2D Phillips right here, a tinier flathead meshed with a bottle opener as well. I guess drinking is not grooming or driving, but don't drink and drive. Has to be said. But yeah, it's a nice, solid set of implements, especially when you consider it carries nicely on your keychain, and especially with some of the new colors right here. It could be very innocuous, or a very innocuous item indeed. Could make some really nice gift options as well. But yeah, check them out. 50 bucks. They're back. Back in like full availability, I should say, which is a cool thing indeed. So those are easy to carry thanks to the keychain. These folding knives are also very easy to carry due to how not thick they are. This is the Vosteed Parallel. New versions of this. We'll start with this one right here. 169 bucks. You've got a 3-inch S35 VN blade with a...
Reaver, Stanto, welcome.
Let's see, actually. You've also got a new Tonto blade option. We'll get to in a second.
That's upside down.
Actually match pretty closely in this case, so you can't get too mad at them. Titanium handles with a crackle finish, which I think is really cool. There's also a version with this crackle finish with sort of a rainbow hue anodization going on from front to back. It's a color shift. That one is same price, $169 right there. And just these things are not something you're gonna wanna cut for hours at a time with. It's not a heavy duty, you know, whatever type of knife. It is a slim everyday carry. I mean, that is super, super narrow. Thickness is, where is it? Do we have a handle thickness on here? We actually don't have a handle thickness on here. But it's very thin. I mean, come on. Gonna sit real flat in the pocket. Crossbar lock. So you've got finger safe opening and wrist flick opening. Sorry, finger safe closing action and wrist flickable open and closed, in addition to, of course, the thumb studs. You've got a wire pocket clip that achieves a pretty deep carry, but that should make this a very unobtrusive knife and a kinder knife for certain scenarios, potentially like more knife sensitive. They are, you know, kind of full-size average knives, however, so keep that in mind, or take it with a grain of salt maybe. We've also got the new Tonto blade option. This one is a little bit less expensive, $129. The trade-off basically here, you've got 154 cm steel rather than the S35 VN, so you're not gonna get quite the same type of edge retention going on, but you have the new Tonto finish. You've also got this very subtle, they're calling it Destroyer Gray finish. Same grade action, lower price, different blade shape. The Parallel. Super, super narrow. Don't call it the Narrows, however. That's Benchmade.
Never seen two L's before.
Yeah, it's right next to the two Keats we were talking about earlier. Next up, another super slim knife, the Bear, spelled Bexar, from Tactile Knife Company. This is, they've done this finish on some of their pens. This is the All-Star limited edition game-worn jersey scenario. So it's a baseball themed getup basically. You've got red and blue on some of the accents. You've got the worn jersey for the handles. Looks pretty nice. It's got kind of a dustiness to it. And the nice bead here on the back. Blade itself, 2.84 inches, Magna Cut steel, very, very thin, so it's very, very slicey. Again, like the Vosteed we just talked about, this is not a heavy duty, work it all day sort of knife. This is a basic pocket knife that is going to slice very, very efficiently. And most of the time, when you want something easy carrying like this, you just need something that's gonna slice really nicely, and this will do that. Magna Cut, of course, we talked about it a little bit on the Bradford, but Magna Cut is a star because of its high edge retention paired with high toughness and its stainless qualities, which is quite nice. 299 bucks for that Tactile right there. Next up, from Finch Knife Company, we've got from the Sugar House Knife Syndicate, the Jackrabbit folder right here. This is coming in about 95 bucks, and it feels like more kind of custom level, quite honestly. I say that, the fit and finish is not like true custom level, but it has like classy, like old school custom vibes in terms of its aesthetics, I would say. We'll go with that. 95 bucks for this knife. 3 3/8 inch blade, 14C28N Sandvik steel. So very tough for a stainless, pretty decent edge holding as well. It's not going to hold an edge like MagnaCut, but it is going to have high toughness with it. Nice slicing on this as well. Even though it is a bit larger thing than the Bear, the knife blade itself has not gone super chunky, so you can still slice nicely with that full flat grind. But you've got a full grip on that knife for sure. Zebra carbon fiber for this one with the stainless steel bolster, and of course the rabbit inlay on the front. There were some other flavors of this available, but they are, at the time I'm filming this is the last one, or last version we have in stock, and I don't know if they're coming back or not. But anyway, you can check them out at the link or the QR code, of course. Feels really nice. Mid, or not quite mid mounted, close to tail mounted back lock right there for classic locking type of performance. Easy open and close. Yeah, it's a classic back lock with some really cool vibes. I certainly dig it. Next up, from Jackrabbit, also known for kind of doing classic vibes in their knives. This is the Scuffle, which is pretty darn modern, but if you look at the blade especially, you can see a bit of like that old school slip joint influence when you look at that shape, those old clip point styles especially, like old Stockmans and stuff like that. But the blade, however, is a 3.5 inch long S90V blade, so you got heaps of edge retention right here. High hollow grind on it as well, so the thickness behind the edge is kept really, really narrow, and the edge itself is very thin and very sharp, so this is going to be just a dream when slicing through stuff. The handle could accommodate some slightly bigger, chunkier feeling tasks, I would say, though. We've got titanium with integral bolsters, and on this one, a green linen micarta, although it looks more kind of natural than green, but hey. These are the nuances of micarta in general. We've also got blasted and micro milled titanium, full titanium without handle scales, still available. $350 for either of them. You've got a bolster style frame lock here on the back. You've got a milled pocket clip screwed in from the inside, so it's nice and clean, no visible screws there. And let's check out the action. The detent on this one, at least, is a little bit on the softer side. I have to kind of be deliberate in my flick right there. Well, my flip right there. You do have flickability too, though, with these fullers on each side that kind of look like the long pull you might see on this style of slip joint blade. Index finger flick, or middle finger flicks quite nicely. Fills the hand, neutral shape to the handle. Very cool classic blade shape. A lot of power in there, but also a very acute tip. S90V for tons of edge retention. Very cool. Oh, we got to talk about, we get the aluminum tube, of course, as we do with all the high-end Jackrabbit stuff. And you can see here, Niche Designs is the collaborator on this one. That would be Nick Rogers, the designer of this knife, working with Jackrabbit. Cool. Got it? Got it.
Where else?
Next up, a revamp from Kizer of their original.
Can they call it that anymore?
Even the Kizer original wasn't like, that came much later in Kizer's history. But here we are. This is the original 2. They should have called it original TOO. Like, yeah, anyway.
Original harder.
The original was a button locking knife. The original 2 is a crossbar locking knife. And the original had a drop point style blade. The new original, the original 2, does not. We've got a modified sheep's foot, we've got a long straight clip point, and we have a Tonto blade. Gratefully, no reverse Tontos. Thank you very much. Dang. Let's trim out. Let's start with on the expensiver end of the spectrum. You've got titanium handles. A few different of the blade shapes are available. This is just a representative sample. There's 6 new originals on the site right now. You can get it with titanium and S45 VN for the blade steel for $150. Black coating on the blade will bump it up another $10 from there. 3.17 inch blade, the titanium handle as mentioned. The grind on these, is that hollow? That is a hollow grind, very cool. In a way, this blade shape in particular reminds me a bit of the old, the Benchmade 941 Osborne that was the same as the handles the 940, but had kind of this narrow, long tapering clip point style to it. But let me just make sure. Oh man, is that just barely a drop point? Man, there is like the barest hint of curvature from this point to this. So I guess technically it is a drop point, but like only by technicality. Like that is almost a straight line going on right there. Hey, what are you gonna do? The action is good on that crossbar lock. It is Kizer's clutch lock, which means you can actually adjust the tension if you want, but as I said, it feels pretty good. You've got a reversible deep carry pocket clip nested into the handle scales quite nicely with some flush head screws to make for a snag-free experience when you're going back into your pocket. What else? Thumb studs. You've got a small unguarded finger choil here at the front as opposed to the old flat ricasso section of the original. And this section is, you know, for my size fingers, it's a little bit on the small side. I'm not really going to be choking up right there, especially because it's unguarded, but I could get a fingertip up there if I wanted to do that sort of thing. The Tonto blade, you can get it in black titanium and black blade for $160, or you can get it right here with this aluminum handle and 14C28N blade steel, bringing the price down to about $80. So almost half of the titanium versions. We've already talked about why 14C28N is nice stuff. Let's see, is there just a hint of curvature to that spine as well? There is, there's just a hint of curvature going on right there. Hollow grind again, black stone washed finish. You've got a little bit of curvature to the front leading edge of that Tonto as well. So you can still do the chisel-y type stuff, but it's not gonna be a flat chisel-y type experience. That should be pretty nice. And then finally, the sheep's foot style blade. Options for this blade shape include titanium with black blade for $160, or this one right here, again with 14C28N blade steel and black micarta for $70. So less than half the cost of way less than half the cost of the titanium version of this. The downward angle of this sheep's foot blade is pretty aggressive actually, which should be really nice for angling that cut into, you know, downward pushing cuts especially. Should help keep the blade inside that cut instead of slipping out. So yeah, very aggressive, very nice. Main difference, or other difference I see between the titanium versions and these non-titanium versions, the clip is not inset into the handles, but it's still very low profile. I wouldn't worry too much about snags on any of those. Yeah, cool new set of blades, you know, highly suited for everyday carry, quite honestly. Next up, the Quoll front flipper. Oh no, but it has a thumb, so I don't have to front flip it. Hey, hey. This is a Ben Taubert design, or a Taubert design. Several versions of this. This one right here is coming in about 220. The series starts at 170 and tops out at about 300 depending on which version you get. They all come with S45 VN steel, however, with a blade length just under 3 inches. And we're really into the just a bare hint of curvature to the spine today for that drop point right there. The handles here are titanium. This is the bronzed finish, matches the ambidextrous thumb plate on the spine there for your opening, and a milled titanium pocket clip. The inlays on this one are really nice. This is a textured zirconium on this particular version. They don't all come with a zirc inlay. Again, check out all the flavors at the links provided. But yeah, they look really nice. It's got a more interesting black to it. Like, it's not just a flat black. There's, you know, visual refractions or reflections going on that make it much more interesting. We've got a, ooh, actually, that's pretty interesting. It is technically a frame lock, but it is really interesting the way they did that cutout. It almost makes it feel like a liner lock with a, you know, excessive tab here on the outside. I like that a lot, actually. I just noticed that. Opening, there is a front flipper, so you could front flip it if you want. I'd much rather use the thumb plate right there. Thanks to the crisp detent and the ball bearings in the pivot there, it flicks open super, super nicely. Yeah, check it out. I think this would make a really nice gentlemanly folder. all the versions feel pretty gentlemanly. Even the black handle, black blade version in a way. It comes with a Timascus inlay that kind of makes it feel less tactical, if you know what I mean. Check out the Quoll. This next knife definitely feels tactical. The Dodo, a folding karambit, and yes, it does kind of have a hawkbill style blade, or a dodo bill blade, I guess. Kind of looks like a dodo's beak, back from the dead, I guess. But you have a little hint of recurve there, just like a standard hawkbill, but it's almost a mix of hawkbill and cleaver shapes together in one, I would say. Price on these are 70 to 75 bucks. You've got Nitro V for the blade steel. A few different handle flavors are available, including G10, Rich Light, and this one, which is Purple PC, which I believe is standing for polycarbonate in this case. It is listed under our synthetic handle category on the website. So that's pretty cool. Blade length itself, about 2.2 inches. You've got Nitro V for the steel, which is very closely related to 14C28N, which, again, we already talked about in this video. Grip length, I do have slightly larger than average hands, but I do have just enough space there in a standard karambit style grip right here. I could really use it effectively if I were actually trained how to use a karambit effectively. But I think this would make a good everyday carry utility style knife, even for folks who aren't carrying it for a self-defense purpose, because the recurve there is very gentle, so it's still going to be easy to sharpen when the time comes. And you've basically got, a utility knife in that particular blade shape going on right there. Ball bearings in the pivot, you've got a flipper tab. It flippers quite nicely. You've got a blade cutout. Let's try the reverse flick. Yeah, reverse flick works all right. It's a little bit tight for my hand size there. Of course, your standard thumb open is going to work quite nicely. You do have the milled section in front of that hole, however. Let me see if I can, I can reverse flick that section a little bit more easily. I think it's pretty cool. You should check it out if you like this sort of thing. This is something that is very tactical, however. This is, most of the rest of the stuff is from Kizer. This is the X Series Defensor fixed blade. M390 DLC finish, or DLC Ultra finish, 199 bucks. Comes with a glass breaker on the back, spear point style blade with a combo edge. The waist of the handle itself is very narrow, so it's not going to get in the way. You can do some really delicate grips if you're using this utilitarian style, or if you're using it for self-defense in that inverted grip right there. You've got the ring to keep you from hopefully moving too far forward and slicing your finger, because there is no other guard provided there. Sheath is Kydex, and it is a very deep coverage Kydex going on right there. Comes with a slim dot style attachment there, which should mean that standard, actually, whoa, something cool is going on there. Hey, it's actually screwed in to the middle instead of the holes on the edge, but you should be able to accommodate other attachment options if you don't like this particular one, thanks to those. Especially if you want to carry it inside the waistband, this isn't quite going to do it for you. Good on the belt, however. But reach your index finger in, pull it out real quick. You're ready to go. Which, if you really need this, you're probably going to need it quickly. So it's good that the sheath accommodates. Next up, from Kizer and designer Jonathan Stiles, we have the Camp 180 fixed blade. $80 for this, actually. And it comes with a 5.5-inch AEBL blade. AEBL, also closely related to Nitro V and 14C28N. Not quite as stainless as either of those two, but it still has really high toughness and pretty capable edge retention, just like those other two steels. Styling of this knife feels a little bit more tactical or combat rather than camp style, but in a way you could kind of say it's a blend between like tactical camp or combat and outdoor, which in my mind has been like that intersection basically defines the survival knife style. Yes, you could survive with any knife. It doesn't have to be a survival knife, but when we're talking about style, to me, that's where the survival knife really lives, at combat / tactical and outdoor mixture, and you have that here. So I guess I'm saying this is a survival knife. The handle is G10. You've got olive green. That matches with this dark stone-washed finish. You can also get a black version, black G10, black blade, same price on that. You've got a full-length tang, but it is enveloped by the G10 with 2 screws here, so you don't actually see the tang, but it does run the full length, or actually stops just shy of the lanyard hole here at the back, because I don't see it anywhere in there. Let me just make sure. Let me confirm. Oh yeah, I've even got a little bit of magnetic pull back there, actually. But yeah, I've got full solid pull the whole way back to that back bolt right there. Ergonomics are not too bad. Doesn't fill the hand like a bushcraft knife, but it doesn't give you so little that it would be painful actually working with the knife either. So in a way, I guess it's a really good compromise, especially if someone who's using this may not have larger hands like me. That could definitely be an advantage here. You've got enough of a finger guard here to keep you from slipping forward, but it's minimal enough that all the actual, tasks you're going to be needing to use it in, where you don't want a finger guard getting in the way. Guess what? It's not going to get in the way on this particular knife. Thickness there looks about, it's a little over 1/8 it looks like. 0.177. Okay, so my micrometers are a little off today. It's about, oh wait, no, that is over 1/8. They're 125 is 8. It's the end of the day when we're filming this. I'm tired. Give me a break. Sorry, folks.
Too dang bad.
Oh man, what are you gonna do? The one cool thing here is you've got a swedge running along the back that terminates right before another swedge takes up towards the tip right there. So you've got almost a little bit of a flatter spot right here. I don't believe it's for any sort of practical reason. It just kind of looks interesting. So there you go. Check it out, the Camp 180. Ooh, sheath. Gotta talk about sheath. It's Kydex. It comes with the dots style attachment right there. Sorry if that was too loud. Of a clicky-clack, but hey, that is the theme of today's episode, I think. So there you go. Nice Kydex sheath on board. 2 more fixed blades. Stick with me, folks. We have the Beaver 2, also from Kizer. The original Beaver had a drop point blade. The Beaver 2 has this clip point blade shape. Available for $56, this one with an AEBL stainless blade. If stainless and toughness is less important to you, you can get it for $48 in a more blacked out version with D2 tool steel, which should give you very good edge retention to boot. I like AEBL though. It's one of my favorites, and I like burlap micarta. You got burlap micarta on this one as opposed to black G10 on the D2 version. 3 finger grip for me. I almost say it's a 3.5 finger grip. If your hands are a little smaller than mine, you probably would be. But because it's so round here at the back, my pinky's just kind of slipping off. So I wouldn't really consider that a 3 finger grip personally. But because of the width of it, still feels pretty secure. You've got thumb scallops here at the front for a really nice pinch grip. Thickness here is a little bit on the thicker side, slightly thicker than the Camp 180 actually. You've still got a high flat grind, so slicing should be okay, I would say, on this. But the advantage here is this thing becomes a little bit more tank-like in its small stature, so you could kind of, be rough with it, be indiscriminate in its use, and that can be a really nice thing on a small fixed blade. You don't have to worry about, if it were a folding knife, the lock failing or the button or the pivot wearing out or anything. You've just got a solid wedge of steel, which could be a pretty cool thing. Sheath is Kydex. Comes with the slim style dots attachment, or dots style attachment. It's not dots branded, but hey, there you go. One more smaller fixed blade, this time from Condor. Here it is right here. 14C 28N blade steel here as well, 2.6 inches. Red micarta for the handles. Slicier for sure than on the Kizer. Price on this one's about $76. Feels really good in the hand. Actually, I really like the way that feels in the hand. You've got more of a finger guard on this one, if that's important to you. Actually, the Beaver 2 has quite the finger guard as well. Anyway, yeah, it's nice. Plenty of belly on this one if you wanted to use it as a small skinning knife. Being Condor, I always think outdoor use specifically. I don't think you'll be able to strike a fire steel with the spine of this one. It's been polished a little too much, so the edges aren't as crisp, but you could probably sharpen that up real quick if you wanted to. Kydex sheath, set up for neck carry, as you can see. Doesn't come with a belt attachment, and Condor doesn't do their holes kind of in standard quote-unquote orientation. So if you wanted to throw an ulti clip Well, an ulti-clip might work, but if you wanted to throw a tech lock on here, you might have to drill another hole. A CVVT clip should be able to do vertical carry at least without any modification, however. There it is, the Red Pygmy from Condor. And that's all we've got for today. Let me know what you thought of these knives, of course, down in the comments, and tell me why the Provoke X is the coolest thing on the table. Or if you disagree, oh, I messed it up. And if you disagree, tell me that too. I look forward to your correspondence. If you want to get your hands on any of these items, check out the links in the description, which will take you to KnifeCenter.com. And while you're over there, don't forget about our long-running Knife Rewards program or our sizzle payment options if you want to make checkout a little less painful this time around. I'm David C. Anderson from the Knife Center. That's Thomas behind the camera. We're signing off. See you next time.
Now, I know you have plans this weekend.
Oh yeah, I'm going to be at Blade Show West. Stay tuned to the channel
Without me.
for updates. Yeah, sorry, video quality may suffer. You just have to deal with it. Bye.